It's Thursday, November 9th, 2017. It's time for WorthPoint Chats with Harry Rinker. I'm Greg Watkins from WorthPoint.com, and it's time for our weekly conversation with our expert in all things antiques and collectibles, Harry Rinker. Harry, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, but I wonder if they're seeing me because I are a big W in the middle of their screen.
Is that
Because I'm not there, and you're down in the corner, and I'm down in the corner here, buddy. And there's a big W in the middle of the screen.
okay? I think that's just something on your end.
Really?
Yeah, because I've got you projecting.
Well,
So
here's the name of the game. You're pulsing, if nothing else.
okay.
Okay. Well, hang on. What happened there?
There, do you see
There
yourself?
I am, or some aspect of me, anyway.
All right, so we'll go with this for a while and see how it works.
You remember during World War II?
Yes, I was there. I remember.
Yes, I'm sure, me too. Actually, I was born in 1941, so theoretically I was there. People say, "Where were you when you heard Pearl Harbor was born?" And I said, "I know where I was. I was 3 months old, sitting in a crib in Dundalk, Maryland. My dad worked for Steel at the Sparrows Point shipyards." But during World War II, there was a cartoon character called a gremlin. Now, you tell people gremlin today, and they think of the Gremlin movies, but
Right.
actually, Walt Disney did a cartoon of the gremlins that got into workplaces and made a mess of things. Okay? That makes any sense?
Right. Right. Well, and gremlins were supposedly famous for wrecking airplanes.
Yes. Well, yes, it was largely in the airplane factories, but they were everywhere. Well, we certainly had our share of technological gremlins these last few weeks and days between your computer, but yesterday my AOL mail on my phone shut down, so I had to go over to the AT&T store today, and they were just very nice. And I thought for a minute there was something going on, but they reset it and they said, "Okay, now all you got to do is," they got my email up and they said, "Type in your password and you should be able to get it." So type in a password and it won't load and it won't load. So I get in my car and I'm driving up the road about 10 minutes later, and I said, "Wait a minute, typed in the wrong password." So I turned around and went back and we got it straightened out. And finally I can get my mail back on my telephone again. I don't know to what end that serves, except that I could do it. Then I went, as you know, I am the baseball academic coach for the Davenport University baseball team. We've talked about that on the air once or twice.
Yes.
And my boys, or the young men that are part of the baseball team, were in study table this afternoon at 3:00 when about a third of the computers in the computer room where we do the study table malfunctioned. But there was no rhyme or reason. In one row, 2 worked. In another row, 3 worked. Another 5 in a row. And in one row, all 5 worked. So, of course, we tried unplugging everything. We tried rebooting everything. And finally, we called the IT department. And, 5 minutes later, 3 guys show up. And they start looking at this and they're pounding away and they say, "This is an interesting problem," which is a phrase meaning we don't know what the H is going on whatsoever.
Right.
And so after numerous consultations and calling in yet a 4th person, we finally got it back up. And it turns out that the IT students at the university were doing some work on the university's server and must have put some kind of bug in the system and bugged out one whole computer room. Well, I just have to say, I have my faith in technology is rapidly declining.
Yeah, I can understand that. We had
Well,
technology.
first of all, I'm glad to say we're back up again. We're back up again, and that part is great. And you are recording this, which I hope you're doing, because we've lost one whole session we did that somehow didn't get recorded.
The red light is on, so yeah.
That is a good thing. So we are on Thursday night instead of Wednesday night. We've had a little bit of technical glitches these last couple of weeks. But we will be on Wednesday nights, and I'm hoping we will continue that next week and the following week on this. Interesting time of the year, of course. The northern flea markets are shut down. and the southern flea markets are going strong. I think Rinker has its first extravaganza coming up here shortly, and that's a good thing out there. And so the frontal part of the outdoor market moves south. Okay, but it's also an interesting time too. It's interesting for two things. Went over to CVS, one of the local drugstores, where I get the medication that keeps me alive. I really wouldn't need medication if I ate what I was supposed to, but since I eat what I prefer to eat as opposed to what I should, I use chemicals to keep my body in balance. Having grown up on the East Coast near DuPont, better living through chemistry has always had meaning for me, actually. And so I will plan to use chemistry as long as I can so I can do whatever the heck I want. So anyway, enough of all of that. What to my wondering eye should appear but the Christmas decorations? Forget Thanksgiving.
That's right. They jump right from Halloween to Christmas.
I'm looking back, there's a little bit of nostalgia here to start off. I look back to my childhood. Now, I grew up in the late 40s and 50s. And clearly we didn't have the internet. We didn't have mail order catalog. Well, we did have mail order catalogs. We had Sears Roebuck and Montgomery Ward and all the special Christmas catalogs that came out. But it seems, and I realize that this is just one old fart talk, and so every old fart probably goes through this. But it just seems like it was a much more leisurely pace when I was a kid growing up than it is at the moment. And I'm not sure
I agree.
There's much arguments about that either. But, the holidays, it seemed like there was a long time between the 4th of July and Halloween. And it seemed like there was a long time between Halloween and Thanksgiving. And it seemed like there was a long time between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Now, part of that was the fact that when I was a kid growing up, Thanksgiving. And so the week or two before Thanksgiving, we were inundated with turkeys and pilgrims and people in funny hats and all the rest of that type of stuff. And of course, Thanksgiving dinner was huge in my family. I was from a big nucleated family. And the truth of the matter is that, it was something that was extremely important. So you have all of that. And what was fun about Thanksgiving weekend was Black Friday. Now, today, Home Depot, God bless Home Depot, sent me an email a week ago, 2 weeks ago maybe, saying, congratulations, Black Friday's already started. Come to the store now. And I'm thinking, it's a month away, gang. Well, Black Friday, which is turned into whatever shopping day it is, and then there's Interday Monday Interday. Was it Monday now?
I think it's Internet Monday.
Internet Monday, yeah, right after Black Friday. Well, if you were a kid in the 1950s or 60s, you know what the day after Thanksgiving represented? That's when the Toylands and all the big department stores opened.
Yeah.
There was a department store in Allentown called Hess Brothers. We just simply knew it as Hess's. It's a store with a great legend, and it was a fun thing. But we had Bush and Bulls in Bethlehem and Easton, and Allentown had not only Hess's but Lay's and Zollingers. And what would happen is that they would shut off sections of a floor in October, and you would go in there as a kid, and behind those canvases and walls, you could hear bang, 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 and you knew they were getting ready to put the toys out. Boom. That was it.
Yeah.
And it was also the days before television advertising. I mean, no, that's not true. I mean, I was on the network between the first of the network units between Richmond, Virginia, Washington, Philly, New York, and Schenectady. And so there was advertisements for toys at Christmas time and so forth, certainly starting in the late 50s, early 60s. But the point of the matter was that the day after Thanksgiving was when you insisted that you wanted to go to the department store with your parents. And the whole goal was to get to look at Toyland. And it wasn't that your parents purchased anything. It was really a kind of look and see kind of thing where you would go there and you'd
scout out, you'd figure out what's up on your list.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't write to Santa until you've been to Toyland. Let's face it, right?
If you didn't know it was available, how are you going to know what to ask for?
Well, that's right. And the other side of it too was that some of the Toylands had toy trains that ran through them. I mean, I forget which one in Philadelphia, either Wanamaker's or Gimbel's or one of the big Philadelphia stores had this Winterland Express and all kinds. And of course, you didn't see Santa until then either. Santa didn't get out till after he had his turkey. But now this Saturday, which is what, let me look at my calendar here.
Maybe the 11th.
18th.
This Saturday in 2 days?
Oh no! I'm sorry. I apologize. No, wait.
Next Saturday.
No, wait. I have to get this right.
Today's
yes, Saturday the 11th. On Saturday the 19th, I am serving as a parade marshal in the Grand Rapids Santa Claus Parade. Now, I have to say, one of the things is that when my wife was looking at the job here in Davenport, we came out here the weekend of the Santa Claus Parade, and we were put up at the Amway Grand Hotel downtown. And we woke up the Saturday morning to look out the window and watch the parade. And I said to my wife, we can live in any town that has a Santa Claus Parade. And ever since then, I've been a Santa Claus Parade street marshal. Now you would ask, what do you do? Well, I'm the mean guy that yells at the kids, get back to the curb, they'll throw the candy to you. But the point of the matter is, it's not the parade isn't after Thanksgiving; it's before Thanksgiving. And Santa comes, and the poor bird has been lost. Thanksgiving has gone away. Nevertheless, I don't know how I got I know why I got sidetracked on this. I wanted to talk about holiday decorations. You know, my mother and every mother in the 50s decorated for the holidays. And my favorite things were Hallmark cards made these big centerpieces for the table, with the honeycomb bodies and stuff in them.
Oh yeah, my mom had those too.
You had those too, right? So the turkey came out. There was this big honeycomb turkey, up on the thing, and then there were Halloween pumpkins and all the rest of that type of stuff. And I miss it. Now Linda's very good. She decorates for the holiday. I can't stand this modern crap they buy. I want the old stuff. And I did own a couple of them, but they never got moved out here, so I'm gonna have to go back on. In fact, I thought it might be fun to go up on the internet and see what we can find in the Worthopedia for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
How about that?
Let's
Well, it's your Thanksgiving centerpieces or whatever you want to type into it there.
Sure.
Now, I don't know how we're going to do this and see everything, because right now I see only a kind of cascade of my images there.
Yeah, this is weird. Okay, hold on.
You will figure this out, I'm sure. Well, here we are, back to that WorthPoint logo again, and a wonderful logo it is too. All right, well, while Greg's getting all that figured out, the fun thing about it is people say, what are there fun, affordable collectibles? And one of the fun, affordable collectibles is Halloween, some Halloween stuff, and certainly a lot of Thanksgiving stuff. Now, I have to tell you, to be perfectly honest with you, that there was a time when Halloween almost threatened to replace Christmas as king of the holidays. It hasn't done it. It didn't do it, and it won't do it at this point in time. But meanwhile, Greg is up on the Worthopedia typing in what he can to see what he can find here.
Well, I'm getting Thanksgiving centerpiece, and I'm getting rosaries.
No, that wouldn't work.
No.
Put Hallmark Thanksgiving.
Yeah. That's a better.
Yeah, and this all goes to show that we can do all this and have all this fun, but the simple truth of the matter is that we have to.
I'm also going to
do that. Now,
I'm also going to search paper.
Yeah, good idea.
Narrow our search.
Yeah, so this is why we're searching anything on the regular net. Then, all right. Well, I can't see it, but you can apparently, and hopefully.
Oh, you can't see I'm sorry.
Oh, there it is. 2 Hallmark Thanksgiving centerpieces.
All right, so let's see what these are. So one is the Mayflower.
Oh, for $30 a piece, aren't they? But look at them, aren't they fabulous?
Yes.
I mean, what is the Mayflower? Imagine all of that. You can pick them, and they sold. Well, they sold quite a while ago.
4 years ago, they were $30 together.
Yeah, and today you'd probably be able to buy them for 10 or 12.
All right, so let me step this back. I'm going to take Hallmark out, but since we're only searching paper,
Oh,
we're
not. Well, all right, but that's all right.
I've got a better idea. Let me try one more.
But this is an interesting. But this is an interesting experiment too, because what happens when you don't find a lot of images? When you think, well, they should all be there, but you don't find a lot of images. Well, the answer is really very simple. Okay, maybe there's no market, and people who are putting up there can't find a market for them, right?
Yeah.
And so try just now. There's a vintage turkey honeycomb lot centerpieces there on the lower left.
Yes.
$10.50. But those are still back at night. That must be the same guy that found the other ones.
Yeah, he's collecting all this stuff.
No, but I don't know. Let's for the sheer fun of it, because I like exploring this whole kind of thing. Let's try eBay.
All right.
See if you get eBay up on there. I just want to challenge to see how good you are at getting all this finagled here. All right, eBay advanced search up there in the upper corner, right aside of search. See where it says advanced. Go up to the search button, and isn't there an advanced thing?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, all right, and type in Hallmark Thanksgiving and see what comes up. Because I mean, you would think if they were trying to sell stuff, this would be the time they try to do it, right?
Yes.
And there's the pilgrims. That's not a surprise. But look at that. Little pilgrim figures. Oh, my goodness. Homemade things. Turkeys? Oh, boo-hoo. Look at that. They're not up there. What happened to all of them? They got to be around somewhere.
Let me put the word honeycomb in.
All right. Well, you try Thanksgiving paper, too.
That's honey bomb. Let me spell it right.
Honey bomb? Well, that's all right. You still pulled some turkeys up. No pun intended, of course. Oh, there you go.
Right.
All right. Now we got them.
$10, $10, 14.
You know what? I'm going to have to go up there and buy some of these things.
This one, I think, is one that my mom had. This one we had.
Oh, really? Yes. Look at that for $4. Oh, yes. plus $8 for shipping.
No, it's only $4 for shipping, so it'd be $8 total.
You know, isn't that neat though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, fabulous.
Taped, right? Because it's been used so often that the little tabs had to be taped back together again.
I'll be darned. Yeah, I mean, and you could. Oh, look at that guy. Well, that's the same guy, but not in his envelope.
Yeah.
Then you have a pilgrim. Let's go on down. A classic holiday pilgrim. $9, $12. Oh, there's somebody that's greedy. Wants $20.
$20 for the little pilgrims.
Oh, but that has all the little animals too, right? Oh yeah, but that's not as exciting as the honeycomb stuff. I don't.
No. Those are just cutouts, die cut.
You know, these are the kind of things that you should buy and just get out for the grandkids. First of all, half the fun of this stuff was trying to get them to stay up.
Yeah, they would always.
Remember they had those little metal tabs on them, and they would fall off. Or after you bent them enough times, they would just disintegrate.
They would just fall apart. Yeah, break in half. Now this one looks like it's older, right?
Oh, I don't know. Very nice. How much they want to ship that? $4.
$4.
But it's not in the envelope. And if you're going to get them, you want the envelopes because the envelopes are picturesque too. Oh, wow, one looks like it's been through the war.
Yeah, it's been beat up.
Yep. Well, anyway, but what fun memories, right?
Yes.
And here it is, and and it, it doesn't cost. It doesn't always cost an arm and a leg. Well, it might cost an arm, maybe not a leg, to recapture your childhood memories. I mean, first of all, where can you buy a decent holiday decoration today for $10? That one looks pretty nice. Ooh, that one's really nice.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't be talking about this on the air in case I want to go up there tomorrow and scarf up one or two of these things.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, no, something tells me that these and some Christmas ones and maybe some Halloween ones are going to become part of my stuff in Florida.
Is that where you spend your holidays? In Florida?
Yes, Linda and I now are down in Altamont Springs for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. Well, anyway, what fun! What fun stuff! And speaking of fun stuff, you're going to love this transition.
Okay.
We got a query from one of our listeners, right?
Right.
Our viewers. What do we have? Do we have viewers or listeners? Viewers, I guess.
We have viewers.
Viewers. Send us a picture of a box from Harrods Club.
Harold's Club in
Reno, Nevada. And here it is. And we don't know much about it. You know, this is one of the things is if you're going to send us information, we would love to get size, markings, you know, any kind of other thing. And the question is, what was in the box? Now, if Greg points out to me, if you can look closely at the image, you'll see it sitting what looks like on top of a computer, do you think?
It's either on top. Yeah, it's on top because of
the way it's plugged in. But what's
right.
that black? What's the black stripe across the center in the middle then? Not the screen. The touchpad.
It's yes.
Yes, it's the computer's touchpad. So it's about the width of a computer. That's pretty good size. And so, you know, to have it hold chips or have it hold decks of cards wouldn't make any sense. However,
and the box is cut to stand up behind the product, so it's sort of like a three-dimensional.
You think it's a sales? You think it's a sales?
Yes,
box?
I think it's cut right here along this this seam, and that folds back.
Yeah.
Behind the product, so it's a display box, and whatever's in it is for sale.
Well,
at least that's what I see in it.
So now what we want to do is we want to play with that, right?
Yep.
Try to date it. So the question is, we don't know a lot about it, right?
Right.
But let's see what we can find here. All right. Well, let's talk about what we can know. Okay. Harold's Club was a casino in downtown Reno, Nevada. It was established in 1935 and closed in 1995. Okay.
Yes.
So as far as we're concerned, okay, it has to be between 1935 and 1999. Now that's a pretty long time period, right?
Yes.
But you look at the graphics, and one of the things that I tell people when they're trying to discuss something or look at something, to say, does the piece sing, and if it sings, what decade does it sing to? Okay.
I hear
date
with this.
Yeah, go ahead, pick a date.
I hear this. This has got to be from the 50s.
Yes, late 40s or 50s, exactly right, as far as I'm concerned. Now, the question is, I know there are people who collect casino material, but they're not, and they often collect casino chips. That's a big one. You know, that's a whole. When I did the Warman's Price Guys, casino chips were an entirely separate category, right?
Yes.
But you got a whole bunch of Harold collectibles up there, right?
Yes.
But see, most of them are chips and decks of cards. And the other big one was ashtrays. I had a father-in-law who went west and supported his retirement. He was a killer on what is the game you throw dice? I'm drawing a blank.
Craps.
Craps. He supported his entire retirement at the crap table. He was top of the line crap player. Oh, wait a minute. Where's that? Go back to that covered wagon one there on the right. That almost looks like much the same graphics, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. This is in several of these. It's a license plate.
Topper, right? I know.
Yeah.
Does it have a date?
Let's see what it says here.
Oh no, that's later. That's much. Oh, 1950s though. Okay, so that's another good clue that that's when that is.
Right,
and that was
same sort of theme, right?
But that's in really great shape.
Yeah, this one is in good shape. Harold's Club. My grandparents used to go there every other month. They drive up there to Reno.
Oh, Howard Hughes bought it in 1970. Okay.
Be going there.
Huh?
That's when my grandparents would go there.
Yeah. Well, I would say, oh, wait a minute. There's a 3-dimension wagon thing too, right?
Yes. So there are several of these in the Orthopedia as well.
Yeah, $45.
Well, this is a Jim Beam whiskey.
Oh, the whiskey container. Forget that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are other 3-dimensionals as well.
3-dimensional things in there as well, right? Yeah, they seem to be wrapped up into the whiskey bottle. Oh, wait a minute. What's the paper doll one there?
So this is a
Club what?
It's a party kit.
Party kit.
So if you're gonna,
oh man, I need one of those. I should say. Oh well, I don't need it that bad. Yeah, pull the handle. All right.
All right.
All right. Anyway, so what is the value of our now that we've learned some historical information about Harold's Club, and we've got this wonderful little kind of box, and now what's fun about this is that one of the things you can use Worthopedia for, which we don't talk about a lot, is establishing scarcity. I don't want to say rarity. You know, I hate that word.
Yes.
But in terms of scarcity, just go to page 2 here. Let's just be fair here. But we're not seeing any of these boxes, right?
They're not. There's no.
And you looked through the whole list pretty thoroughly. You told me, right?
I did. Yeah, I've scrolled through.
Let's just say that this box is less than common.
I would say that. Yes.
I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm certainly not going to put it at 10, but maybe at least a 6, maybe a 7.
Yeah. And whereas these license plate
common, and the chips are extremely common too.
There's a lot of these.
I have to tell you what frightens me about so many those license plates is a lot of them look brand new, and either somebody found a stash of them or they've been reproduced. But okay, but anyway, so what kind of value are we going to put on the box? Well, I think you got to be looking at $25, $30, maybe a little bit more even, for somebody who's into Harold's Club stuff and needs something unusual for their collection.
Yeah. And of course, the owner of the box may know a little bit more about it. You know, you turn it around and read.
Well, I'm always concerned that people know more about this stuff than they tell us, which doesn't help us at all.
Right.
And you know, and appraising and doing stuff isn't a guessing game. I mean, we're out there trying to pin this down. The more information people can provide, the better. So we know we have this box. It's about this. It's got to be almost 12 inches across. It looks like it's a display box to sell something, and we certainly can't go to Harold's Club and say, "What did you do for this?" Because it's long gone. All right. So
yes.
So now the question becomes: if we say the value of the box is 20, let's go back to the box here. We've been putzing around with this stuff enough. Let's go back to the box, and you say, "Okay." Okay, we know it's in Reno. Oh, wait a minute. That's in Reno. Oh, yeah, Reno, Nevada. Okay, that's right. That's where my father-in-law played the craps. He rented a place out there for several months and played the crap tables. Let's say to a Reno collector or a Harold's collector, it's $35-$45, maybe even a little bit more. To somebody else, so what is it worth? Well, I think this falls into my neat things club. What do you think? It's just neat.
Yeah, it's cool graphics.
It's cool graphics. It's big. It's big enough to be
on a shelf and be noticed. Yeah.
Now the only thing is, we only got one picture with this, right?
Right.
And it would have been nice if she'd opened up and she showed us if it was any kind of a thing inside. Because you say it's supposed to fold back, and there's a center fold, but it can't display by going back. And in order for it to display, there'd have to be almost a cut there, where when you flipped it up, it goes back flat, and the other part moves back, and it's like a.
I think this sort of angled thing up where the cow head is. I think.
You think that's what does it?
Yeah, I think that because
yeah, it could be. I guess
I can see a fold here. And
yeah, I see. All right, so it would work that way. It would fold back up and stand up.
Yes.
All right. Well, fun for well, maybe one of our viewers knows what it is. We'll be interested to hear from you. And speaking of interesting from you, we'd love to hear what A, you'd like us to talk about, and B, if you have something you'd like us to talk about. How do you get in touch with us? Well, it's really very simple. You pick up the phone. No, you.
No. We won't answer.
and send something to community@worthpoint.com. Community@worthpoint.com. If you have something you'd like us to talk about, by all means, we'd love to have you raise some issues and say what's your opinion about this. We certainly, as you know from watching these videos from week to week, I have an opinion about everything. On the other hand, if you'd rather not hear my opinion, then don't ask your question, but we won't go there. But if you're going to send us some photograph, we need some help. One photograph is great, but we need to know the background. How did you acquire it? Where did you pay for it? Where did it come from? What's its size? Size is so critical. And then give us a bunch of pictures. The overall shots, details. If it's got an inside, show us what's inside. All of that helps us try to figure out what it is you have. That's well, right. Anyway, here we are. I just looked at the clock, and we don't have time to do anything more, which is probably a good thing. Right. Which means we have some stuff left for next week. But that doesn't mean that people shouldn't send us a note or an email. Community@worthpoint.com. We'd love to hear from you.
That's right. So I guess until next week, Harry.
Until next week, and I'm sure we'll come up with a lot of numb-minding comments for next week as well. Actually, I should forewarn you. I am looking for the opportunity to broach an extremely sensitive topic.
Uh-oh.
But we will find time in the next week.
I think we can handle it, though. We're all mature, right?
It's the two of us can handle it. Whether anybody else watches it doesn't matter. All right. Yeah. Hey, have a great week, Greg.
All right. Until next week, Harry, we'll say good night.
Yeah, and to our viewers, have a great night.
Yes.